The holy trinity of bad games of 2023 is complete. First we had Gollum, then we had that King Kong game, and to, finish it off, Walking Dead Destinies. I really feel like Grunkle Stan from Gravity Falls when he collected all 3 journals, except I never asked for any of this.
Finally, we have them all.
This game is really bad, like really clunky bad, not good bad, not bad. It's like insultingly bad to the point where you just wonder, what were they thinking? Not the developers. The developers clearly knew this was a trash fire and they need to find a way out. It's the publishers. The board members, if you will, the investors, the money grubbers. These are the people who just, people will buy it, sure. The cutscenes are just 3D models placed next to each other, and they just run the dialogue.
You ought to be more polite to a man with a gun, huh? Only common sense.
Man, you're wasting bullets we ain't even got. And you'll bring walkers down on our ass, man. Just chill.
It's like those people who set up mannequins in malls for the clothings and whatnot. That's pretty much how these cutscenes play out. They just prop them up, open their mouth a bit, and gape it. They don't talk. They don't move their mouth. It's just completely mannequin style. They could have gone, and this is usually said like, oh, this is a cheap route to do like 2D comic strip cutscenes. But even that isn't as cheap as you think. You need to put in the effort to like draw it, and then put the motions to the comics. So there is effort in 2D cutscenes. It's not always bad. They decided to not even do that. They went for the laziest way possible and just went with that. Just having like 2 action figures talking to each other. That's pretty much the cutscenes. You need to understand, same thing with Kong, same thing with the Modern Warfare 3 campaign. It's not the developer's fault. You see them actually are invested in their, product. They want to make the best product, but they're usually rushed. That's the day-old tradition of game companies that they always seem to crunch their employees. The Walking Dead Destinies publisher is the same publisher that made Skull Island, Rise of Kong. Yep, that's right. Games Mills Entertainment. They were the publisher for this, as well as that Kong abomination. And I feel like this is just not a coincidence. This is just how they design it. It feels like some sort of money laundering scheme at this point, because oh boy, they really just shelling out these stinkers at lightning pace, huh? It also says that the publisher of Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, which is a game that I have to admit it's pretty decent. So this is where I say that you need to separate the publisher from the developer, because I have no doubt for the Walking Dead game, the same thing happened. They were rushed, the developers, and they were told to just get it out. And that's what happened. Another thing to keep in mind is the fact that the game has this little mechanic where you could change the outcome of the story from the show, such as like the boss fight between Rick and Shane, and you get to decide whose side you want to be. You could choose Shane and kill Rick and continue on that way. But it's hilariously bad how the boss fight goes.
Sorry, brother. We were doing just fine without you. Then you come back and just destroy everything. You're out of your mind, Shane?
Finders keepers.
Can't let him hit me. More ammo's locking. Can't get distracted.
I don't even know where to begin with all of that, okay? I could either go with the strange stop motion fight in the beginning with the cutscene, I say that loosely, or the fact that Rick can take 12 shots of shotgun to the face and he still isn't flinching. At that point, does he even need a group? He's just a one-man Terminator in the zombie apocalypse. He could just mow them all down by himself.
Keep moving, Shane. Don't let him get you. Whoa. Stay sharp, soldier.
Pop quiz. Who said whatever voice lines you heard? Because I couldn't tell. I honestly cannot tell the difference. I feel like they might have even cheaped out on voice actors. Not saying this voice actor is bad. It's just, it feels like all of them just have one voice actor. They just probably went with one guy who probably even voiced the zombies and just voiced both Shane and Rick. It's hard to tell who's saying what.
It has to be this way. You made me do this. Please, Rick, if you're gonna wake up, I need you to do it now. Can't go back, man. Can't go back. Wait for me! Ah, you pricks!
So after taking, I assume is 100 rounds of shotgun butt to the face, Rick then disarms both Shane and Shane disarms him. And the second phase of this final boss is a crowbar and a bat fight with a bunch of zombies running around. I don't understand like the video here because I don't know if the audio is just messed up on my part or if that's actually how the video is, or the fact that the prompt is still saying kill your friend. I just noticed that. Wow, that's very helpful advice there. Thank you for the objective. I honestly I'm trying to process it all, but it's hard to understand anything of what's happening. Clearly they're trying to do some sort of, oh, it's sad, he's killing his friend, showing the memories, but the audio and everything, I'm hoping it's just the YouTube video itself. If it's really built in the game like that, they really need to test that out a bit more. I'm pretty sure the game like continues on towards like the prison governor or whatever, but for me that's the final boss. That's probably how long my attention span was gonna last if I actually did play this game myself. I'm not going to, because I have some semblance of dignity somewhere inside me still. It's clear that they were just banking on the name. If you look at all these bad games that I mentioned, Gollum, King Kong, and Walking Dead, they have one thing in common: they're from big IPs. And lo and behold, that's what they assume is going to happen, that, oh, it's a big IP, people will buy it regardless. No, they're not. You gotta actually live up to it. We live in a world where Alex Jones, yep, Alex Jones, can make a viable, decent video game, and these companies can't.
I present to the world Alex Jones's New World Order Wars. They're turning the friggin' frogs gay.
I genuinely don't know what's happening here, that Alex Jones can do it and these guys can't. I haven't played it. I don't think I ever will. I don't want to open that box of worms, but it's sad. It really is sad that someone like that can make a game and these guys can't. We really need to shape this up. If this keeps up, I just don't know. I shudder at the thought of what can come in the future. Are we gonna get like some other deranged game based on an IP that's just a water cardboard cutout? I sure hope not, man. It's not like we don't have a good Walking Dead game. We have one from Telltale series, and that is a spectacular masterpiece compared to, well, you don't even need to compare it to this wet noodle here. You would think the trend would die down eventually, but I think we're getting a new genre of just deranged games that I don't understand their pricing. Like, looking at the pricing, Destinies is usually $50, but they decided to be generous and give us a sale of knocking it down to $44.99. Well, wow, that's real special. I wouldn't even sell this to my worst enemy. I wouldn't buy this even if it was somehow to give me immortality at the end of the game. I don't want anything to do with something like this because it's just an insult to like anyone who enjoys the fandom, anyone who just likes playing games. I really hope this dies down eventually, this trend of awful games. But yeah, if you really want a Walking Dead game, just buy the Telltale series. That's the best thing you could got going for you. And that's from 2012, mind you. An 11-year-old game just outpaces completely whatever the hell Game Mills was doing. The Telltales took the IP and did it right. Destiny decided to just drag it on a dirt road and then just leave it there to die. So yeah, that's all there is.